Testing 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Hello and welcome to my brand new rebranded Twitch page. Yeah. Going from just doing gaming to actually what I love, which is TTRPGs, games like Daggerheart, Legends of the Mist, Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, uh, rebranded to the world beyond the dice, where we focus on more of a narrative, the narrative of the game. Let's get my Steam manager going so I can see chat room and all that. Anyways, pretty much where we focus on the narrative of the game, the worlds by the game, world creating, the role playing and stuff like that. I actually got my Foundry loaded up. This is actually a current game that I'm playing with some players through Startplayinggames. If you're ever interested in playing a TTRPG, Startplayinggames is a great place to find players. I'm on there as Noble Goblin, so if you ever want a game run, look me up. Besides that, let's dive into what I am wanting to do today. Which, like I said, this is Foundry. It's a VTT, a virtual tabletop. This is where you play games like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder. What's loaded up here is Daggerheart. I know if you're new to Daggerheart, new to VTTs, this kind of looks a lot of foreign to you. But we are going to go with the basics. So last time on my YouTube, I posted a video on character creation of a character. Let's find that character and load it back up. Where's my goblin? Did I delete my goblin? I didn't delete my goblin, did I? That means adversaries. NPCs. There he is. Found him. Remick the goblin has been found. Awesome. So, Daggerheart is a TTRPG which uses character sheets, which has all your stats for these kind of games loaded up. You build this in Foundry, which is this VTT I personally prefer over other VTTs. Yeah, Foundry is a great VTT. You load modules, you can have everything automated, which is great. This is a character I built last video I posted, which is called Remick. He is a seraph goblin. He pretty much has wings. He can fly. He can heal people. He is a very friendly goblin, very nice goblin. Not compared to old school D&D where goblins were evil. Uh, goblins are evil. I've always loved goblins. That's why my handle is Noble Goblin. Anyways, we're going to go over some rules for Daggerheart, how to use this character sheet, how to play this game. Daggerheart is, like I said, a narrative, collaborative, tabletop role-playing game, kind of like D&D. One of the difference from this and D&D is it uses a narrative focus on the game, which is the role-playing focus, the story focus, the fiction focus, whatever you want to call it. So, pretty much, Daggerheart, the other way difference is Daggerheart uses a 2D12 system instead of the D20 system, which Dungeons and Dragons, which Pathfinder uses. It's the same basic mechanic. You roll your 2D12s when you try to do an action in the game. Say, for example, say you're trying to pick a lock. Well, you roll your 2D12s, add your appropriate modifiers, which for Daggerheart will be your finesse. What you see, this FIN here is 0. So that means he'd have a 0 modifier. So I'm just rolling 2d12s. The total of the dice has to beat the DC that the game master sets. So let's say the DC is a 13, and I'm trying to pick this lock. So let's roll. Boom. You see my dice roll on the screen, and I rolled a 14 with hope. So in Daggerheart, that means one dice is hope, one dice is fear. The higher the dice means what it is. Since I rolled a hope, I gain a hope, and it kind of pops up here on my screen. But I succeeded in my DC. I had 13 DC, so I picked the lock. The lock clicks, the door opens, and I can travel inside that room now. That is the basics of any TTRPGs, is you're doing actions in a world that the GM narrates. Anyways, let's go over the mechanics of the 2d12 system. Like I said, you roll 2d12s, you get your things. The biggest difference is one dice is represented by hope, one dice is represented by fear. Once you roll, you let the GM know, hey, which dice is higher? If the fear dice is rolled higher, then you rolled with fear. If the hope dice is higher, you rolled with hope. Whatever you roll with hope, you gain a hope. Whatever you roll with fear, the GM gains a fear, and it is a mechanic he can use in the game to affect the game itself. For example, when you roll with hope, fear, even if you succeed, there is a complication in this scenario. For example, say Remick was trying to unlock the door, but instead of rolling with hope like he did, he rolled with fear. I could say something as simple as you unlock the door, there's a loud click that might have alerted whoever was behind that door you're unlocking. Or I could say something as simple as, hey, gain a stress. That is a very simple mechanic because it's a very stressful situation. But that's the basics. That is Daggerheart. Um, I hope to have some actual plays going on soon. This is supposed to be just a little stream. Just got the website changed from my Noble Goblin, gaming to the world beyond the dice. I'm gonna have several like live videos like this going over things, especially how I used to play D&D back in the 90s. See, I didn't get a computer and all this stuff. Like I have 3 screens now. I have a almost like a $1,500 computer under my desk. Back in the 90s, I didn't get my first computer until my granddad passed away back in 1998, and I inherited his old computer. So when I started playing D&D, which was 94, 95, I had to make do with what I had, which was making stuff. And one way I would make it's I would build my own worlds on paper, build my own maps on paper, and stuff like that. So we will go over some things like that in future videos of how I made maps back in the 90s, which I still do today, by the way. It's a very simple way of throwing dice on the poster board and tracing around them, and that is your map. But it's very fun to do. Nowadays, we have lots of map makers. Like there's one that I use is Incarnate. Incarnate makes beautiful maps for your games. Another one I use is Agazars or whatever. It's called something like that. But it generates whole worlds, towns, and all that just with a click of a button. And you sit there, click, 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 click until you generate the world you like. I also use a program called Dungeon Draft, which that I do more for my main towns and my dungeons and my boss encounters is what I use that one for. What else? What else? We got the VTTs. Like I said, there's more VTTs than just Foundry. This is just the one I prefer. I actually use 2. I use Roll20 and I use Foundry. Foundry is my preferred one, but sometimes I'll play on Roll20 because it's just a simpler VTT. Foundry is a lot more technical, a lot more advanced. It automates a lot of things. For example, when a creature attacks another creature, uh, instead of me having to manually go into the creature's stats and lower its HP, it will do it automatically for me. When the creature clicks that deal damage or apply healing, it automatically does it to the creature that's targeted. So that is awesome. That makes my life easier during the game instead of having to. Okay, I know there's an update. Let's look at that later. Instead of me having to manually do it all as a GM or a game master or a dungeon master or whatever game you're playing, because each system has their own name for the narrator of the game. Uh, there's another game I'm going to focus on, which I just got the PDF for, which is Legends in the Mist, which is a super fun looking narrative focused game that's going to hopefully get some games running, maybe post a couple on SPG, Startplayinggames, and get a few groups for. I really want to get in a group and actually play it myself before I start running it, but we'll see how that works. Very quiet in chat today. I know this is something different. This ain't, normally I'm sitting here playing, Final Fantasy or Oblivion, but I do this a lot on the side as far as TTRPGs. It is a lot other than my normal day job that I do. And I figured I'd start using it in my Twitch streams too. This is, and I'm post these to YouTube and start getting my YouTube channel built based on TTRPGs. And I really want to get some actual plays going where we play actual games of whatever tabletop system we're playing at the time. The first one I plan on getting is a Daggerheart one, probably running a game called the Sablewood Messengers, which is a one shot. A one shot, it means it's a game that lasts one time. But pretty much, it's a learn to play one that will guide people who watch it through how to play the mechanics of the game. Because to me, the best way to learn how to play is to watch or play. I learn better when I'm watching than when I'm reading. Anyways, y'all have a great day. I believe that's all I want to show you today was just the basics of Daggerheart, which is rolling the duality dice. The hope system, pretty much what the hope system means is you have abilities. Let's see if I have one on here that uses hope. Yeah, here you go. Life support. It's an ability that says I spend 3 hope to clear a hit point of an ally within close range. Close range is within 30 feet of the ally. I can actually pull up a battle map and show you what I mean by close range. Let's see what battle maps we have on this game. Let's go to this one. What up? Okay, this is a platform. This was a battle my players were playing in. Because they had to climb a tree. They found a goddess of a bird. The god bird gave them some magical items. And now they got to stop the invading army from invading the world. This is the Way of the Wild. This is one of the Daggerheart campaign frames in the core book. But let me pull my goblin on here. Remick. So Remick is running around. This is how tokens look. Oh, I hate it when it rotates. So to fix that, you just go to configure settings, core, and find token rotation. For some reason, it always turns back on even though I turn it off. There we go. Let's zoom in so I can see my token. All right, let's pull another token out here. One of my players. Let's put Thalara. Say Thalara is hurt. She's lost some HP. And my flying goblin seraph, which a seraph is pretty much Daggerheart's version of a paladin. So just, so you kind of got an idea what it is. I want to heal her. So I go to my character sheet. I see that I want to add out hope just so it works. See that I have 3 hope. And my ability, it's my turn, is to spend 3 hope to clear a hit point on an ally within close range. First, we got to find out what is close range, which feet-wise, close range is 0 to 30 feet. But I got a ruler here, so I can click myself, and close range. I can heal her from here. So first thing I'm doing is I hover over, I press T. That targets the creature in Foundry. Or targets the character or whoever. Then all I do is go back to my character sheet, which I have a HUD down here that does a lot of my abilities for me. But let's open up Remick. All right, then I go over here to life support, click healing. It says, hey, I'm about to spend 3 hope. So I click continue and roll. It automatically deducts my hope for me. That's one thing I'll talk about how Foundry does the stuff for you. And then it rolls down here. Healing is saying it's going to be 1 hit point, and the target is Thalara. So all I have to do is pretty much click apply healing. Let's make sure Thalara has some HP needing to, Okay, let's see. Yeah, she's a little hurt, so she could definitely use a little healing. So all I have to do is go down here on the screen, click apply healing, and bam, she is at full health. 0 out of 8. Most TTRPGs count down. This one, it counts up. So pretty much when you get 8 out of 8 means you're passing out. You're unconscious, you're dying. You gotta do your dying moves. When you're at 0 out of 8, you're at full health. But that is a way that it automates. Let's do some automating with combat. Fighting a creature. Let me go down to 4 fear instead of 3. There we go. And let's go to the compendium and find something that Rennick, my seraph / paladin of a goblin, can fight. All right. Adversaries. He's level 1, so we're going to go to tier 1 creatures. What would be a good villain for him? Let's do a dire wolf. Yeah, let's pull that on here. Boom. So he's being attacked on this platform in the sky by a wolf. First of all, like I like to do, is I like to have some music, some kind of battle music. So as a GM, I'm gonna come over here. I got little folders with a different music, different types of music styles, and I'm gonna go find my combat folder. And these are my more suspenseful music. It's not just normal background. So we'll stop that one, and let's do. I think skirmish is a good one. Let's see. Yeah, we're in a combat. Let's play that skirmish music. So Daggerheart doesn't do initiative. The way it does combat is the players start first unless the creature has a special ability like ambush. And now my music's too loud, so let's lower that. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear the music. I'm looking at my mixer and I'm not seeing nothing move. There it goes. Awesome. Anyways, in Daggerheart, there's no initiative. You don't roll your dexterity like in D&D and get in order. Daggerheart, a player can go when he wants to go. No matter how many players, y'all talk among yourselves and you decide who goes first. So since players go first, it is Goblin. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna put them on what's called a turn tracker. Which you see, you see the creatures popping up there, and I get this cool little turn thing. So since Remick gets to go first, as a GM, I'm gonna click this, and boom, you see that symbol behind it glow. So every player knows Remick is about to go. On his turn, he can do several things. He can move. I can move up to far range if I do an agility roll, but I can always move close range. So let's open his character sheet and see what kind of abilities he has. He has his sword, so I could run up and attack him with a sword. Let's see. What else does he have? He has his prayer dice. Oh, but Remick, he can fly. So that might be something we might do in a minute too. Let's see what kind of cards he has. Bending touch and Iron Shield. Okay. So he doesn't have a lot of attack options. So he's going to do he's going to take to fly. He's going to fly up in the air about 10 feet, and then he's going to fly down and do a moving attack. He's going to fly into range with the wolf. So we're going to move him. Oh, I got a buff target. It's my bad. So we're going to move him over here close to the wolf, and he's going to attack. So to attack, what do? We target, which is just the way I do it is I hover over, press T, instant target. You can also right click and press that little target symbol. That does also target the wolf. But once you target it, you can go in here, you can click that and do your attack. Or, since I have this HUD down here that shows all the different things, all I have to do is click attacks. Do I attack with my broadsword? Bam. Okay, do I have any experience that works? To use the experience, you have to spend a hope, and you get to get a +2 to your roll. I don't, so I am going to just roll now. Roll. All right, so let's see what I got. A 15 with fear. So that does mean, I don't know why my fear didn't go up, but I gain a fear as a GM, and it's a hit though. So I roll damage, 1d8. So I hit the wolf for 7 HPs of damage. All I have to do is click deal damage, and it's automatically taking off 2 HP on the wolf. Since I succeeded, but I rolled with fear, that means combat moves over to the adversary. So the wolf gets a chance to go. So on the wolf's turn, as a GM, I'm going to look at his abilities. He has a special ability called Hobbling Strike. I think I'm going to try that on him. So pretty much it says Barking Stress and make an attack against the target with a melee. On a success, you do 3d4 plus 10 direct physical damage. Oh, he cannot block that attack. And make them vulnerable until they clear at least 1 HP. Okay. So I am going to target. Now I'm targeting him as I click his attack and roll. That is a definite hit, which is hobbling a strike. So let's roll damage. 3d4 plus 10. That is 17 points of damage. Which the way damage works in Daggerheart is you look at this chart here. You see minor, 8. Major, 16. Severe. You take that 17 and you look at this chart. It is above the 16. So that means I lose 3 HP. And since it's direct, I cannot block it. So let's deal damage to Rennick. See. Let's let me use it. Cool. So I am going to knock it down from a severe for 3 HP to just a major because I'm using armor. So I'll just take major damage, and I just took 2 HP automatically. But since my creature went, he cannot go more than once. I'm also vulnerable, so let's apply effects. There we go. Vulnerable means that every time he attacks me now, until I clear an HP, he will get advantage. So now let's go here and target Remick, because it's Remick's turn again. So Remick can fly. So he's going to fly about 10 feet in the air, out of the reach of this wolf. And he's going to fly over here. Let's see if I got an ability that shows I'm flying. Let's see. Fly. There we go. So I am going to use one of my abilities. Let's see. Do I have any healing abilities? Nope. So let's go dig into inventory. And I knew I had a minor healing potion. So I am just going to use this consumable. Let's roll it. As I pull the potion out and take a drink, it heals a total of 1 HP. So I make sure I'm targeted. I am. And I apply healing. Boom. Automatically healed. Plus, since I did clear that HP, I also clear my vulnerable state. So I just go to my effects, Hobbling Strike, and let's just delete that effect. Boom. I am no longer vulnerable. But it is still my turn because I did not fail a roll and I did not roll with fear. And that's all that matters. So I am going to go again. This time I am going to fly down back into range and I'm going to target him and I am swinging again. But like I said, I'm going to use my HUD here. Just click that, click broadsword, click roll. And, ooh, this is good. I rolled 2 dice, both hope and fear, of the same number. That means it's a critical hit in Daggerheart. The same number on both dice, no matter if it's 1, 12, 8, whatever, is a crit. That means you get max dice damage plus the dice roll. So let's roll damage and see what it does. 1d8 plus 8 because it is max dice damage, so it's already added in there. So roll. Max damage, 16 HP to this wolf. So let's target it, make sure it's targeted. Click deal damage. Wolf just took 2 HP and the wolf is dead. So as a GM, I would walk over here. Find effect that works. Dead. Boom. Wolf is dead. We are out of combat, so I would go to my tracker and encounter. Boom. And the wolf is dead, so I would probably delete him also. And that is basically Daggerheart. You know, you fight monsters, you do tasks, you slay dragons, rescue damsels, have political conversations with nobles. Pretty much anything you want, you can do in these kind of virtual worlds. But besides that, that is it. I appreciate you for listening to me ramble on about a games system that I do love. This game has only been out for a few months, but is quickly becoming one of my favorite game systems. Let's get out of combat music, of course. Boom. Let's just go to some atmosphere. We'll do atmosphere right there. Dreary. Whitestone. Let's do that. All right. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you all some other time. Again, don't forget to follow if you enjoy this kind of stuff. I will still be playing video games, don't worry. I was just rebranding under the world beyond the dice. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time I stream or when I post on YouTube. All right, have a great day.